Hello everybody, my name is Shelley and this is my channel Proverbs 31:22 where I share about my stitching journey. So today is Monday, May the 3rd, 2021, and if you're new here, welcome. I do my videos vlog style throughout the week and then upload on Sunday. It doesn't upload until Monday. I'm still waiting on yesterday's to upload. But anyway, if you are new, I'm glad you decided to come and join me, and would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I'm almost to 350 subscribers, and I will do a giveaway when we reach that goal. And if you're returning, hey friends, good to see you again. So, let's see. I did do some quilting this morning. The end of my last video, I talked about how I wanted to start structuring my days a little bit more. So I did get up this morning and exercise before I started my day. And then after I got, showered and changed and everything, then I had a little block of time that I dedicated to quilting. So I wasn't able to cut my coriander Christmas block until this morning. And so I got it cut out, and then I started piecing it. And here's the little corners. And this is what that quilt will look like. It's a block of the month that I'm doing from Fat Quarter Shop. And we're on month 9. So, I am in the process of uploading a little video to my Instagram, but I'll just share a little bit on here about what I do when I make flying geese to give me an extra little piece, a little half square triangle for another project. So I started sewing my flying geese for this block. I did one side and pressed it, and then I sewed, put on the other side and sew right here. And then I come a half an inch away and sew another line. And then I cut those apart in the middle. And so I will press this one, to give me my flying geese unit and trim it up. So that's what's for the quilt. And then this gives me a little half square triangle that I can trim up and use on another project. So a little pouch or a project bag, any kind of other little project that I wanted to make. And so if I hadn't done that, then all of this that was on this corner would just be thrown in the garbage. So, if it's a big enough piece, like on these right here, they're, snowballing those corners. If it was a bigger piece, then I would do the same thing. But since those are small, stitching a half an inch away from that line would give me, something teeny tiny. So it's only when I have a big enough piece that I'll do that. So that's a little tip for you guys if you quilt. I do mostly share about cross stitch, but I am wanting to get more quilting going in my life again. So, if it gets to the point where I'm doing a lot of quilting and have a lot of quilting stuff to share, then I may branch off and do separate quilting videos, but I'm not at that point yet. I did stitch together one more string block this morning, and I'm working on making another one to go with these blocks that are right here. And I am going to turn these blocks into project bags. So what did I stitch on yesterday? So I stitched on the Serendipity. This is a charity fundraiser pattern from Fat Quarter Shop for Make-A-Wish in Texas. The pattern is free on their blog. They do suggest a donation of $15 to Make-A-Wish. And they've raised like over $60,000 so far this year. They do a quilt along and then they do the stitch along. So I'm stitching this on 14 count navy Aida using the called for DMC flosses, 2 strands. And so I got the next 2 little blocks right here done. So today I will stitch the other 2 and then I'll be able to put this away until the next part is released on the 15th of this month. And then I stitched on my All Sewn Up. It's meant to be a biscornu pattern, but I am not doing it as a biscornu. I'm just going to do it as a little small. This is, I mean, I don't have a good picture of the whole thing because it's over a 2-page spread on the magazine. That's 1/2 of it. So this was the first time I had attempted to make one of these, and I cut the fabric too small. So I'm just going to turn this into a little pillow piece. But I'm stitching it on 14 count oatmeal Aida, and I stitched on this flower last night. And I'm just using DMC flosses, some called for, some my own choices, 2 strands over 1 square of Aida. And I will stitch on that piece for, let's see, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday this week. And that's part of Monthly Magazine Challenge group, which is a group on Facebook that encourages us to stitch some magazine patterns to use those magazines that we have. I don't have a whole lot of cross-stitch magazines. I did subscribe to one long time ago, but you know, when I drifted away from stitching, got rid of all of them. Now I'm back to stitching, and I use the Readly app to get those patterns. So also, this is my weekly focus piece this week. I always have a piece that I work on every day of the week for a solid week. And this week it is the Shooting Star from Carolyn Manning. And I'm using the call for DMC flosses, a couple of substitutions for colors that I didn't have. And I'm stitching it on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. And this is what I've got done so far. I just stitched on this a little while last night, so I just got a few little components in this area completed. So fun. And then yesterday for my my theme yesterday was Sampler and Stitch Along Sunday. And the wheel chose for me Winter Rose Manor, which lives in my Love My Stitching bag that I made last year. This is a pattern by Hands On Design. And I made my own little colored conversion of it on 25 count pewter Lugana. So this is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. And I am stitching it on 36 count Zweigart linen in platinum. using some called for and some my own choices of flosses. And I'm stitching it one strand over 2 threads. So I did realize last night that when I came down this side of the peak of the roof, I had one extra stitch, so I had to remove that out. And then I just came over here and started filling in more on the house. I might have to make this a weekly focus piece soon because I really want to stitch more on it. Then I stitched on Elizabeth Weston from Hands Across the Sea. This is a piece that I will stitch on every day just to be able to make some progress. And I'm stitching it on a 36 count hand-dyed linen from Strawberry Lane on Etsy using the called for DMC flosses. And I am stitching this one strand over 2 threads. And so I'm trying to get a page finished every month. And so last night I had to stitch this little section right here on page 2. I had already gone partially over onto page 2 just using strands of thread that I had going from page 1. So it was this little section that I had to complete. And I did time myself, and it takes about 45 minutes to stitch that part. So hopefully, 45 minutes. I would rather if it was 30 minutes, but, 30 to 45 minutes a day stitching on this. So that's all that I stitched on. That's all that I stitched on yesterday. I did finish a row on the quilt that I'm hand quilting for my daughter. Finished a row yesterday and marked the next row of arcs. I probably will try to film again in the living room like I did a couple of weeks ago, where I can lay that gargantuan king-size quilt out just so that you can get a peek of where it's at now. But I did want to share a little bit about mental health. I am joining up with or following along with for the 614 Stitcher's example of her mania. She's doing a mental health mania focus. And so, hang on one second. So I did look up some information yesterday about, cross stitch and stitching in general, the benefits of it for, our mental health. And so I'm just going to read a little bit. I may do this like 3 times a week for the month of May. So, and I'll have the links that I got this information for linked below. So this little article talks about 3 health benefits of cross stitch. One of which is being a calming creative practice. So it talks about how some cross stitchers have even gone as far as saying that it's a lot like meditation for them. They talk about the repetitive motion of pulling the thread through the fabric, which allows you to feel just a sense of peace, a sense of calm. It's just really, it is meditative. It is just calming. I know one time my little grandson was watching it, and he watching me while I stitch in hand using the sewing method. And he was just sitting next to me while I was stitching a piece, and he's like, I just love watching the thread go in and out of the fabric. And I was like, you got it, darling. That's it. Like, just that motion of pulling that thread through. And even if you don't do, hand sewing method, stick and stab, whatever, it's just that repetitive motion that just sort of calms our mind down and calms us. It just gives us a sense of peace and calm, allowing us to sort of, just relax. So that's one mental health benefit of cross stitch. So when I get done with this video, I am going to stitch on my mental health focus piece for the month. And so I'll be able to show you that progress tomorrow. But what I've decided to stitch is this piece from a magazine that's by Emma Congdon, and it says it's okay not to be okay. I think that's very important for us to remember that, to give ourselves some grace and to be honest with where we are. So even if it means that we're in a place where we're not okay, it's okay. We all have times where we feel, we're not okay. I know we all really dealt with that a lot during 2020. Just the anxiety. And even though we're getting more back to a more normal lifestyle, we still deal with stress. So it's, we have to get to the point where we're honest with ourselves and honest with others, and that we're gracious to ourselves. Okay, guys, that's my Monday vlog, and I will stitch, some the rest of this day. I have a little bit of cross stitching that I'm going to do before lunch right now on my mental health piece. This afternoon I'll do more sewing, and then this evening I'll do more stitching. And so I'll come back tomorrow and share with you what I stitched on today. Bye, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May the 4th, and I'm here with my daily update. So we had some really bad weather come through this morning. Some severe thunderstorms, lightning, wind blowing like crazy. It seems to have passed, but I haven't looked at the radar to see if we have any more coming. I know that the local weather, the local news station weatherman said that today was a first alert weather day. So I'm not sure if it's completely done or not. But anyway, I'm here to update y'all anyway. And let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I did call this morning to the staffing agency that I interviewed for that marine construction company job. And, because I had reached out like 2 weeks ago, and she said they were still interviewing. And it's like, okay, it's 2 weeks. It's, more than a month since I interviewed. Did they just not let me know or whatever? But they're still interviewing. So, still interviewing. I mean, I told her, to tell them that I was definitely interested, but I don't know if she'll pass that along or not. So I did stitch on quilts yesterday. So you can see I got part of my Christmas block made. I also worked on more of these. And then I got the straight and arrow quilt, the units that I had sewn together incorrectly. I got all of those ripped out and started putting them back correctly. I thought these were the last of them, but these are not. So I still have another pair of pink fabrics that have to be put together in blocks like this. So it's kind of slow going with that one. So I did stitch on my weekly focus piece last night. And this is the Shooting Star by Carolyn Manning. And these little squares are kind of like Lay's potato chips. You can't just, stitch one or two. It's like you just want to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. So I stayed up till, I don't know, 11 something last night, almost midnight, stitching on this thing. I mean, I stitched on other things, but this was the last thing that I stitched on, and I just couldn't stop. So I think it's so pretty, and I just love seeing all the colors come out. And then my magazine monthly challenge piece, this little small that I'm making from that Biscornu pattern. I did some more stitches on this flower right here. So I stitched on this last night while I was watching a new show that popped up on my Netflix suggestions. It's called The Beauty and the Baker, or The Baker and the Beauty. I don't remember which way it goes, but it's cute. I'm liking it. I've only watched 2 episodes, but I like it. And then I'll watch Heartland after that. So I did completely forget about When Calls the Heart until yesterday when I was sewing. And so I watched the most recent episode yesterday while I was sewing. And oh man, that first scene of that first opening scene, I think I know which way she's going, but they're still like making it like she hasn't made up her mind. I don't know. So after I've taped yesterday, I did fill in a little bit on this little banner on my It's Okay Not to Be Okay. So with my schedule that I, blocked out lengths of time and stuff to work on different activities, as always, we sort of over plan or over think we can get more done than what we can actually get done. So it was kind of like I think I set my beginning routine with the exercise and showering and stuff. I didn't give myself enough time, and so I sort of backed into what was supposed to be my sewing block because I was behind on the first block. And this morning it wasn't any better. We had that bad weather that came through, and so I woke up feeling really sluggish, and I did exercise. I've done this in the past. There's this app called the 30-Day Posture Makeover. And so I did day 1 of that and then just did some stretching and stuff. So on day 1 of that posture video, she has you roll up a towel, like a beach towel is what I have rolled up. And I just have it, I have like ponytail holders on the ends to hold it together. And you lay that on the ground this way, and you lay on it, with it running down the center of your back, and you open up your arms. This side, it hurt me yesterday when I was just doing stretches and stuff. It's just so tight in there. It's just crazy how tight it is on this side, like in my, chest and into my armpit. And then the second part of today's exercise, she had you put the towel this way underneath your shoulder blades, and you do the same thing. You put your arms out. Then she has you do Ys, and then she has you do Supermans all the way straight. I couldn't do the Ys at all. And then when she had me put it this way across my shoulder blade, oh my God, that just hurt so bad on this shoulder blade. I mean, I can just feel how tight it is. So, I mean, I'm going to keep doing it and everything because I know it's good for me, but geez, I have like some little lacrosse balls and different little things to use to work on trigger points, but God, it hurts so bad to do that. But I may have to do that tomorrow before I do anything else, stretching wise. So anyway, all of that to say that I'm backed up again today, and so I'm not getting as much as I want it to get done, but I'm okay. I mean, I'm going to try to adjust my expectations so that, because it's disappointing to me because I'm goal oriented, that I'm falling behind in what my goals are. It just means that I just need to adjust it. If I don't have a deadline for something, it just means that I have to adjust my expectations of myself. So, and that's not an easy lesson to learn. So anyway, I stitched on the Serendipity and finished this row of these blocks. So now I can just set this aside and I can set this aside and work on other sales until the 15th. Then yesterday for Merry Monday, I've decided that every other week I'm not going to use the wheel. I'm going to just work on this shabby advent calendar from Kiori Abatakori. Because I really want to try to have this done for Christmas this year. So I'm working on number 7. And I think last time I showed it, I had all of the border parts done. And then last night I started working on the skate. So you can see on hers, she has a more detailed border, like she has stitches in between. I decided to leave those off just because, I knew that stitching these and finishing them individually was going to take a long time, and I didn't want those extra stitches to have to make those. So, and since it's on individual pieces, I didn't feel like you really needed the dividers. So, and then I stitched on my Elizabeth Weston. And for the segment for yesterday, it was just doing this leaf right here. So that was a pretty easy stitch. I don't know if you heard that or not, but my dog's stomach will start making these weird noises all of a sudden. Every, couple of weeks or so, it just makes these really weird noises, like to the point where we think the cat is inside, like meowing, because it just sounds like it's talking. It's weird. And he doesn't seem like he's in distress or anything. It just makes these noises. I did stitch on my daughter's quilt yesterday also. And that's it. That's all I stitched on. Yep. So I will be back tomorrow and give you another update. Bye. Morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, May the 8th. And not May the 8th, May the 6th. And I'm here to update y'all. So the last few days have been rough and not very productive. So Tuesday, after I filmed, I did do a little bit of stitching on my mental health care piece. And then I worked on a project bag. And when I got done with that, the pain that I was having in my shoulder, it was still going on. And it was just like, trigger points, knots. So I did lay down on our ottoman and, laid on a lacrosse ball and moved it around and tried to work that out and like all in here. And, basically torturing myself to the point of, tears of pain, tears of discouragement, tears of frustration. So I didn't cross stitch at all Tuesday afternoon or evening. Just did that little bit on my mental health care piece. Did some, my head was hurting real bad too. Like it was just pounding. And so I took some of my Fioricet, which is like acetaminophen, butabitol, and caffeine. So I took some of that, went to bed, got up yesterday morning kind of early, couldn't go back to sleep, like, 4:30 in the morning early. Couldn't go back to sleep, so I read for a while, got up, had breakfast, um, went to my Amazon Prime account and saw that there were new episodes of Midsummer Murders as well as Death in Paradise. So I started watching the first episode of the new season of Midsummer Murders, and I got probably three-fourths of the way through it, and I was just so tired and just so fatigued and so sleepy. So I just, turned it off, laid down on the sofa, and went back to sleep. And I slept till noon yesterday. I was hoping when I got up at noon, I would feel better. I didn't. My head was still pounding. My neck was killing me. So I didn't do any kind of stitching until I started feeling better, probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock last night. And so um, I stitched some last night, so it's very discouraging, to want to be able to do something to earn money from home and to just feel like, you can't because you have too many days where you feel like crap. So, anyway, it is what it is. My older daughter, Kim, she's done with all of her college stuff. She's done all of her exams, scored in the high 90s on all of them. So she's finally done with that and, like a big sigh of relief. So she texted me this morning and told me she was going to get a pedicure here in Rogersville at the nail salon and asked me if I wanted to go. So I did go with her and do that. And I also talked to her about wanting to go to Huntsville tomorrow to drop off Project Linus blankets and fabric. And she said she was, even though she's going to Huntsville today, to meet her sister-in-law for lunch and take the boys clothes shopping. I was like, well, you don't want to go to Huntsville again tomorrow. And she's like, I'm fine, I don't care. Today's probably not going to be very fun because we got to go clothes shopping with the boys. So we're going to go do that tomorrow. So that means today I need to go through my bins of Project Linus fabric and sort of weed out things for projects that I know I have on my immediate radar. I'd have to find those projects first, and then I have to go through the fabric, weed it out, and bag up what I don't want. So I don't know how much stitching I'll get done today as far as sewing goes. I haven't worked any more on quilt blocks or anything. I did Tuesday afternoon after I filmed my video. I did complete a project bag, and so this is what I got done. So I used the string blocks and sewed 4 of them together. And I quilted the top to some by Annie's Soft and Stable. And I just quilted the top to the Soft and Stable. I used Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, her tutorial and the way she puts her bags together. I just did it that way. I didn't quilt all 3 layers. I think I can do it for future ones. I think I figured out what I need to do to be able to do it that way and do her method because I like her method. It, all the seams are enclosed. There's no exposed seams or anything. But I really would like to have all 3 of the layers on the front and the back quilted. So on the top part, I just did, a top stitch along the zipper, and that's the only stitching on top that I did. I added the lace before I put the zipper on. That's the only thing that I'm not sure if I want to quilt them, like I was thinking I need to, put the zipper on first between the two layers with the batting or whatever I choose to use, and then quilt it. So if I do that, I won't be able to attach the lace before, might be able to get up in there. I don't know. I need to figure out how I'm going to do them because I really like to have it, all the seams enclosed. I need to think about it. There's too much thinking about what I want to do with these bags. Like it's too much, not knowing how I want to do them, and then, making one every couple of months or every couple of weeks even. Like I want to be able to know exactly what I want to do with them, how I want to construct them, so that I can lay out, 10 or 20 of them at once, cut them out, and then assembly line sew them together. It's too start and stop. So anyway, I am going to offer this one up for sale. I don't know how much to charge. It does fit a full-size chart. So I'm thinking maybe $25. It took me about 2.5 hours to make it, and that was with, pausing the video and watching what she was doing and stuff. So I know I'll get faster the more I make, but, like I said, when you have one day where you feel okay, and then you might have 2 days where you feel like nothing, So, yesterday evening I did stitch on some things. I did do my next section of Elizabeth Weston, which was this flower right here. So the flower was my my part 3 that I wanted to get done, and I did allot myself 2 days to get that done. But since I hadn't stitched Tuesday, I wanted to just go ahead and get that completely done so that I would stay on track with where I want to be with that. So I was able to get that done, so I'm glad about that. And then I did stitch on my mental health care SAL piece. It's okay not to be okay. And I filled in the banner and then started outlining it. Pretty easy stitch. And then yesterday late afternoon, when I started stitching, I started my my June calendar. And let's see, these are from, I always forget what magazine these are from. Let's see, these are from Cross Stitcher magazine. What issue? Okay, Cross Stitcher magazine, December 2020. So I'm stitching these on 14 count Aida in the color white chocolate with 2 strands of floss. And I got almost all of it done. I have like 12 stitches left to go. I ran out of this color that goes in the middle of the flowers, and I didn't feel like coming and hunting floss, so I'll get this finished up today for sure. So that's all I stitched the last couple of days. I have been thinking about like still doing a daily rotation, but instead of choosing something different for every Tuesday of a month, stitching on something different, maybe stitching on the same piece every Tuesday for that whole month, or stitching on maybe 2 pieces in that category for, each Tuesday. Like, I'm not saying that right. Like, one Tuesday stitch on Spring Messenger as an example. And then the next Tuesday, stitch on my little calendar. And then the next Tuesday, Spring Messenger. And then the following Tuesday, the calendar again. You get the idea, like alternating 2 of them. I did look at my calendar for May, and I guess I was already sort of thinking of this, even without realizing that I was thinking of doing this. Because on my Sunday sampler and stitch along Sundays, I wrote in Winter Rose Manor every Sunday. So I guess I'm wanting to see more progress on projects. Like, I'm wanting to get my whip pile sort of weeded down a little bit. Basically so I can fill it back up with something else. But like, I just want to, make a push to get things finished. So if I'm stitching on, 10 different projects in a month, compared to just stitching on 5 in a month, that's just an example. That's not the accurate number. But, I would get more progress done on individual pieces if I didn't stitch on so many different ones. I hope that made sense. And this is I don't know what my dog's barking at. But this is my second time filming this, so I'm sort of lost as to what I've already said and what I said on the first video. I don't know. So anyway, that's all I've got for today. I will try to come on tomorrow and do a video at some point, either before I go to Huntsville or after I get back. Because I know I won't be able to film on Saturday because my daughter's graduation and graduation party are Saturday. So anyway, I hope y'all have a good day, and if I think of anything else, I'll hop back on here, but if not, I'll see you next time I update. Thanks. Okay guys, I got my Project Linus stuff sorted out and trimmed down. So before I started, this, as well as these and this, those were all Project Linus things. So I got rid of a bunch of fabrics to bring back, to them for other people to take. I still have enough projects planned for 12 quilts. Probably a little bit more than that because I forgot about this one right here. So this container right here is backing fabrics, just that I don't have already dedicated to a project. I did go through everything in the projects that I want to do soon. I, set aside backings for it and bindings in some cases as well. So with those empty containers, I was able to, sorry, it's making it blurry. I was able to spread out my bag making supplies. So this container right here did have all of my bag making things in it, and it was overflowing. So I was able to separate it out. So I've got linings and zippers, batting, as well as, that foam stuff that I still have some, and I will use it to do some with, even though I don't like it. And then I have the outer fabrics. So that will help me a lot when I get ready to make bags, because it'll be just sort of more organized. So yeah, I got it done, and I've got my bags ready to bring to Project Linus tomorrow, as well as my donations. These big tubs at the top. That blue one is my Radiant Star quilt, which is going to be for my brother, my younger brother, and his husband. And then that one is that is Jelly Roll rug supplies, which I will one day get over my fear and decide to tackle that project. I've got a bunch of jelly rolls in there, and I've got jelly roll strips of batting in there, ready to go. I got the pattern and everything. So that shelf right here is all Project Linus. And then the shelf right here is just various personal quilt projects that I have. Some from Sew Sampler boxes. This down here is my Goodness Grows. This is my Grasshopper Block of the Month with Sarah Filkey. These containers are my fabric dyeing supplies. And up there above my bag fabrics, that's my other sibling quilt that I'm piecing, the one that was going to be for my dad. And then this is my Stitch Pink grunge quilt with the leftover pieces. And then that's where I hang my quilt blocks, as well as my cross stitch finishes. Larger pieces are back there. This is my little finishing cart. And then I also have some finishing supplies up here on the top two shelves of this, well, the top two. And then I have all of my ribbons and trims in these bags down here. And this is beads. So it's a little more organized than what it was before, and so I like that a lot. Okay, I will see y'all later. Bye. Everybody. It's a little bit after 7 o'clock on Friday, May the 7th, and I just got back from my trip to Huntsville with my daughter, and I'm going to jump on here and just do a quick video so I can show some of the things that I picked up today and show you what I stitched on yesterday. So we did go to drop off my Project Linus blankets and turn in the fabric that I culled from my Project Linus collection. And of course, when I walked in and they saw me with bags of fabric, they said you have to take the same amount that you brought in back home. And I was like, nope. No, I'm not. I was like, I got enough to keep me busy, so. But every time they have like a little, not only do they have fabric laid out for us to go through, they also have a table with just odds and ends that people have gone through their stash and gotten rid of. Excuse me. So I did pick a couple of things up off of that table. One of them is this Bucilla kit of the Nativity, which I thought that I could do as a giveaway. And it has, you know, it's unopened, so all of the threads and the needle and the cloth, which is 14 count Aida. And it's really pretty. So pick that up. They also had a this 2-color quilts book from Better Homes and Gardens. And when I was going through my Project Linus stash, I was looking for some ideas for 2-color quilts. So when I saw that, I went ahead and snatched that up. I mean, this is a $25 book that was just on the free table. Oh, look at that. So pretty. And then I did rescue a stitch that was on the table. This little heart piece, isn't that so cute? And I think I'll probably just leave it exactly like it is. So cute. So we did go, we went to a couple of places and looked for an outdoor canopy. We found one of those at Academy Sports and Outdoors. We also went to Target, and when we're in the Target shopping center, there was a Burke's outlet, which we've used to have one of those in Florence, and it closed. But I'd never seen this, but in the same building as the Burke's outlet, there was like another section of the store that is under the Home Centric brand is the name of the store. It's kind of like a Home Goods knockoff type place. I don't know how else to describe it. It was, like Home Goods, but even cheaper prices. So I picked up a couple of things there. I picked up like the coolest wind chime. I've never heard a wind chime that sounds like this before. It sounds like water bubbling, flowing. It's just so calming. Picked up a couple of really good smelling candles. Got a little utensil thing for the kitchen, and then I did pick up a frame to finish cross stitch with, and I forgot to bring it over here. Hang on. So I picked up this Laura Ashley frame. They had beautiful frames, beautiful different kind of little like medallion type things on little sticks and on a stand that were all this white kind of shabby chic look that I just love. So I figured there will be something that I will finish in my future that can go in this piece for sure. And if not, I will take half of a pattern or part of a pattern and make it fit in there. So I did stitch yesterday evening. I stitched, finally did some stitching on the Bonnie and Camille Shine On cross stitch piece. I hadn't been stitching on this for the last week or so, and I did put some stitching in it last night. And so I got some of these flying geese done, and then I started doing the little bee block. So I did some of them, I have to go back and do the second leg of the cross. So a little bit behind on that, but it doesn't matter. I love stitching on it. So I did stitch some on my weekly focus piece, which is Shooting Star, Carolyn Manning. So I filled in some things of white over here, and then I started over here with this new color, which is so pretty. It's like a pretty aqua. I just realized I forgot to grab my tablet, but hang on, I can get this pattern on my phone. On the Readly app, you can put it on your phone, on your tablet, you can get it on the computer, and it all syncs your stuff. So, let me find this pattern that I worked on yesterday. So I worked on the Daybreak, Winter Daybreak pattern. Trying to get it where it doesn't glare so bad. I think you can see it pretty good right there. I probably just need to start putting pictures of these in my video, but so this is the top. So I got a good portion of this, I got a good portion of this, this motif here done. I really wanted to get the whole thing done, but I mean, I was pretty close to having it completely done. Close enough for me to, consider it a goal met. And it was getting late. I was kind of getting tired of stitching. And then I did work on my Elizabeth Weston. So I'm actually ahead of where I was planning to be. Of course, I don't know if I'll stitch on it tonight, but so I got this this flower right here. I think that's what I did. No, I worked on this right here, and then the vine. I'm filming. Okay, all right. So anyway, that's what I got done, and I probably won't tape tomorrow, but I will come back on Sunday and finish out my week. Bye. Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, May the 8th, and I am here to close out my week. I'm a day late closing out, but I didn't do a single thing yesterday. I didn't stitch on anything. Of course, I didn't do any housework. We didn't have any kind of special day or anything because we had done that Saturday. So yesterday I did absolutely nothing but watch shows, and my husband went and picked up breakfast for me and then picked up supper, and it was just a lazy day around the house, so which is really perfect to me. But on Saturday we did. My daughter Kimberly graduated from college, and so I went along with her and her husband and the two boys. She could only have 4 people. I've said this before. She could only have 4 people. And I was the lucky 4th person to get to go. And it was a very nice graduation. A lot of moments where I was like right on the edge, of crying, and Malachi was sitting down on the other side, like he was the end. I was the end of our group that was sitting together, and he got overcome, and he kind of does that. He did that at his aunt's wedding. Like he just, he gets emotional about it, and, it comes out with crying. So he was just proud of his mama, just like I was, So she did graduate summa cum laude. We knew that, I wasn't 100% sure because she doesn't like toot her horn at all. I had known from, my son-in-law talking about, her always stressing out about her exams and stuff, and then every semester she ends up on the dean's list. So I knew that she had done really well. Didn't know exactly, how well, but like I said, she did graduate summa cum laude, and then she was surprised. Everyone was surprised. No one knew who was getting this award, but UNA awards the Keller Key every commencement. Her ceremony was the College of Arts and Sciences. And so there were 4 people that were awarded the Keller Key, and Kimberly was one of those people. So it's basically an award for students who have done all of their coursework at UNA and who have the highest GPA. So we are just so proud of her. And I joked with, my family, it's like I didn't realize that a person could survive their heart bursting, but here I am, I just, oh my goodness, so much emotion and pride and joy, and just, all those good things. And then, some sad things too with, knowing that, my parents aren't here, and Michael's parents, even though his mom's still alive, she's badly dementia. So um, I don't know. It's just those little celebratory moments can be bittersweet when you're missing loved ones. So, but anyway, after the graduation, we came back here to our house and had a crawfish boil. Kimberly has always loved crawfish, and so we did that for her to celebrate all of her hard work, and we also just celebrated Mother's Day as well. So, my younger daughter Lakin and her fiance Emily, and then Emily's little boy Mikey, they got me these earrings. I put them on after they gave them to me, and then I went out to the mailbox, and Malachi was out front, and he was just sort of looked at me and said something, and he turned back and he's like, "Oh man, those are really pretty." I was like, "You think they're my color?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're your color." So they got me these earrings and this great smelling bar of lavender soap, and then also this little burner with this little jar of jasmine oil. And this has a little tea light candle, and you put the oil on top, and then it releases that beautiful jasmine scent. That's one of my favorite scents, is jasmine. And then Kimberly and her family, they got me a Florence, Alabama t-shirt. They got me a gift certificate to the spa that I go to for a facial. I haven't had a facial in quite a while, so that'll be nice. And then they got me those things, and she's like, this was an add-on gift, Mom. She's like, after you did your video, of holding your phone in one hand and trying to sew with one hand, she went and picked me up one of these kits that's a phone holder and light. So I'll get to use that in future videos. So my husband did buy this bouquet of flowers, just he said just for the gathering Saturday, and then for me for Mother's Day. So I did stitch a little bit on Saturday, sort of after we ate and everybody was just sort of laying around relaxing. I went out on the swing and listened to those beautiful wind chimes, and stitched a little bit on my mental health piece. So I got started on the big okay up here, and I miscounted somewhere, so I ran into this vine and I wasn't supposed to, but it's okay. And then I don't remember if I showed this since I finished it completely, but I did finish the little flowers centers on this little June piece. And that is all that I've stitched on since Friday. Now I'm doubting myself whether or not I showed y'all everything. Maybe I didn't, because I think I did a little bit more on, because I know I didn't have time to film on Saturday, so I don't think I've shown all of this. So I did stitch more on this piece with starting this little circle down at the bottom. I'm pretty sure I showed you those two pieces. Let me see if I did anything else on Elizabeth Weston. I did just a little tiny bit. So I realized when I was showing it the other day that I hadn't stitched, I hadn't stitched the inside of this little leaf, the little white part. So I did go back and do that. And then I want to say I didn't have this done. So That's where I stand on that one. But like I said, I didn't stitch it all yesterday. I just stitched a smidge on Saturday. So, that's all I got. I promise, I will have a different backdrop for the next set of videos. Um, I'm, I'm not 100% sure on the pink and gray one if I'm going to gift that to who I thought I was going to gift it to. What I really want to do is go through all of my sew sampler boxes and see if I have something else that would maybe work for, it's my daughter's sister-in-law. And then her other sister-in-law, who's married to Dwayne's brother, is, they're expecting as well in December. Dwayne's sister's expecting in October, and she's having a girl, so we know it's a girl, but the Ben and Haley, they're not going to find out what they're having. So I need to go through my sew sampler boxes and sort of look and see what I can use for, just a generic baby quilt. And then I want to see if I have something else that I can use for Hannah and Luke's baby girl, because I'm not sure if I want to do what's on the wall behind me. I'm still going to finish it. I'll probably end up donating it to Linus, but I just don't know if I want that to be her baby quilt. So once I get those all out and then look through them and see what I've got, then I can make a decision from there. I am planning to, this coming week, work on, I want to do something for Project Linus every day. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day, work on that project to, my Project Linus projects, to move them forward so that I can really, so I can do some more quilts. We did have 729 that were turned in this past blanket days. And then we also recently, I don't know when, but they had a cake celebrating 25,000 blankets that our chapter has donated and distributed for Project Linus. So, it's such a worthy cause. And, when you think about, when you just think about kids having to go through health crises and, their parents, how worried they must be. It's just a really good cause, and I really have slacked off on being involved. We did get an email a few days ago that our local group here in Rogersville has gotten the all clear to start stitching again together at the Baptist Church here in Rogersville. It's going to be the third Tuesday in June. I don't know if that's going to be the standard day. We were doing like the first Tuesday of every month. So I don't know if we're changing the dates or whatever, but if you live, anywhere in the area and and you're able, please consider joining us. You don't have to do quilts. It's, you can do flannel blankets, fleece blankets. You can crochet or knit blankets. Any kind of blanket for, a child who's in need is greatly appreciated. So, if you had fabric you wanted to donate, we take those type of things too. If you don't sew and you just want to come and iron for those who are sewing, anything you can do to help that cause is greatly appreciated. So other than that, I'm just going to, continue on my normal stitching routine, and that's it. So I'm going to close this out, and so I'm going to say bye to everybody, and I will see you. I'll see you tomorrow for the start of the new week. Okay, thanks, guys. I love y'all. Bye.